Hello, Nicholas here. Today, wow, I always keep forgetting the episode, the number of episodes we are currently at. However, today I want to just discuss something simple. Inside the Idoko Nicholas Technologies, there are some certain tools that we mostly use because I'm beginning to get a lot of questions. People are beginning to ask me, "What's your stack? What do you do? What do you use? How do you develop the software?" And it is not one particular tool. There are tools for various things that is our for primary use that we generally use. Yeah. So this video is or this audio, I keep saying video, but this audio is actually going to be a short one, right? Um Most people, because we are very, very niched, we are not for everybody. We are mostly for people that want to launch an idea and actually see if the idea is going to be successful in the market. We are not looking for big clients, people that want to launch something heavy. We are actually looking for people that have an MVP, want to launch it in the market as quickly as possible, and see how well it does compared to not having the idea at all, um, reaching the market, or slowing down the entire process for a very long time. That does not mean that we are cheap though. You're actually expensive, but it means that you have a very fast way of entering into the market. And if what you have, your idea, is validated, right, then you can now go ahead to build something way more robust, hire a full team of software engineers, and set it up the right, way for long-term durability. And no matter what anybody tells you, if you're hiring an agency or a freelancer to build your software, it would never be long term. You need to have your own software engineers to have long term durability. People building Facebook, YouTube, Google, they cannot go and rely on their software in the hands of freelancers or agencies. I am an agency, I'm a freelancer, and I'll tell you the truth. So if you are giving us a project expecting us to build it for you long term, when I mean long term, I mean for 15, 20 years, I think you're making a big mistake, because we do work on various other projects. So we cannot come and now be fully dedicated to your own project, right? So that's just the truth about it. So what we do basically is provide a gateway whereby, let's say you don't have the finances, or you're not sure that you want to launch your project to everybody. Sorry, I said that wrong. You are not sure you want to launch your project with everybody in place, which means you have a front end designer, back end developer, project manager. You don't want to set all those things in place before you can be able to launch your idea. You want to test the idea first by maybe hiring an agency or a freelancer to set it up quickly. Emphasis on it quickly. Because if you're hiring an agency and they are taking the same amount of money and the same amount of time that it would take you to set up a team, then there is no point to hiring an agency. The best thing you can do is just hire a team, because that way at least you know that the team is dedicated to you. So our niche, or what we do really, is for specifically people that have an idea and quickly want to send it into the market, in order to know if this idea is, something they can pursue or they should dump, right? So that is where we are fitted. Now, when it comes to the tools we use, I'm heavy on PHP. I'm a PHP guy, so it's LAMP stack all the way. However, for applications, I'm an Apache Cordova guy. I like using, in fact, I do love using Apache Cordova because it makes it easier to manage and quicker to set up for the two operating systems, the major ones, which is Android and iOS, right? With your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you can set up your application on both stores, right? And PHP is quick to set up. Almost setting up a Linux environment to host your codes on the server is one of the easiest things you can do. You don't need AWS. You don't need setting up Node.js environment. You don't need all those go packages and dependencies. Simple, straightforward, and easy. So those are the tools that we use, and hopefully I have explained to you the niche we are focused on. Like I said, we are not focused on people that are, and their vision is to build a team, right? Because we are not going to, I would like to, if I tell you that we are going to be focused on only your projects, no matter how much you do pay us, somebody can reach out with us with a bigger offer, right? So we cannot, it's not even advisable. If you want to really go all the way to set up a team, go all the way to set up a team where you are sure your idea is validated. However, if you are not sure your idea is validated, you want to launch it in the market as fast as possible, and you want to test, should this be done? Maybe should you set up a team in 4 years after you've made sure fully that this is going to work? Fine, that is the best time to reach out to us as an agency, or to freelance and get your project up and running as quickly as possible. Emphasis on, it does not mean that we are cheap though, because we are offering a service that would help you validate the idea cheaper than how much it is going to cost you to set up an entire team, and faster than how much it will cost the entire team to launch that idea. So we are actually offering a premium service to you, so you can be able to deliver, or rather, verify your idea as quick as possible and cheaper than setting up an entire team. However, you should bear in mind that if you are reaching out to me, don't be reaching out to me if you're expecting us to, do something funky. Unless you want something funky, that's something very cheap and simple. Because sometimes I do get some clients that reach out to me, their budget and what they want to do, it does not even make sense at all. You cannot be telling me you have these big dreams, you have all these things you want to do, and your budget is 500,000 or 400,000, right? It cannot work. So tools we use: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, the normal, obviously, for Apache, Cordova, and also for the web. MySQL for the database. Obviously, PHPMyAdmin is used to check out the database and all. PHP is our favorite scripting language for the back end. In fact, if you don't want us to write PHP, there is no need reaching out to me, because I would always tell you I want to write it on PHP. Rarely do I use Python. I know how to code in Python. I've built some applications on Python using Django framework, but I still always go back to PHP. For some reason, I have been bonded with PHP. I don't know. I just love that language. Some people don't like it. I do like it, And I like Apache Cordova. It is easier. I know Apache Cordova so well that I do even create my own plugins if necessary, to show you how in-depth I have gone with Apache Cordova. So there is no point me trying to prove what I'm not by trying to use a language that I am not familiar with, especially when I'm working with clients. So those are basically the tools that we use. To set up a server with a simple cPanel is very easy. I think anybody can do that these days. So those are how we set it up, quick as possible, cheaper than setting up an entire team. Does not mean cheap. It does not mean that we are, so you need to bear that in mind as well, because for some reason I'm getting a lot of people reaching out to me, asking me what tools do we use, what stack do we use. They want to know the tools we use in order to know if we are the right fit for their project. Yeah. Okay, so at least with this video, I can easily just send it to them, instead of explaining myself all over and all over again. So this is just going to be here. Thank you very much for listening. If you are listening up till now, bye-bye.